Alright, so I told you guys whenever I made it back to YouTube, I would have some very amazing stuff to show you, and really, I'm not going to hold anything back here. We're going to go through all of the tech that I recently picked up. You can see that my setup is totally different here. We are kicking things off today with a review of the ZTE AXON M. I've had quite a few days to sit here with the phone and see what it's like, but I want you guys to know exactly what this phone is like, especially with the fact that it dropped in price. It went from a $700 price tag, and now you can get it for almost half the price, right around half the price of what it originally launched at through AT&T, and you don't even have to purchase through AT&T now. So we'll take a look at this phone and let's get right into it, guys. So diving right in with the ZTE AXON M, I do want to mention right here at the beginning that this is the world's only foldable smartphone that you can get that's on the market right now. Until we see, possibly in the future, another company launch a variation of phone, and I think the tech enthusiast is really going to know what I'm talking about whenever we have these paper thin phones that will eventually launch. I think it is coming within so many years we will see them launch, and I'm looking forward to that day. Just having a phone that you could literally roll up if you wanted to, down to a smaller size, put it in your pocket, and have it be very, very convenient. So I think we're going to see some very interesting things in the future. But getting into the specs here, you can see that you have your SIM card tray, as well as your volume rocker up and down. You have a power button, which also functions as your fingerprint scanner. And then you have a configurable quick launch button that's down here below that you can assign anything you would really like to. If you wanted to go to YouTube, if you wanted to go to Amazon, you can set it to anything that you would like. Moving on though, we have a USB Type-C connection, and on top you have your 3.5mm headphone jack. And I do want to say that this phone is covered in Gorilla Glass 5. So one thing I was worried about with this phone was whether it was going to be very sturdy, given it has such a thin secondary screen. And if you notice here, it is very thin, the second screen that's on the phone. But after messing around with the phone for a few days, and I've kind of taken it here, I've seen if it has any sort of flex as far as bending in the opposite direction that it's supposed to. There's no flex at all whatsoever here. It's just built so solid. And if you can see here, it has a brushed metal finish that's on the back that I feel like makes this phone, it makes it look amazing, and it also emphasizes the Gorilla Glass that's on this phone as well. So moving on to the front of the phone here, you can see that we have two full HD displays. And really, this phone does not hold anything back here. With the fact that it has the Gorilla Glass 5, as well as these HD displays, and then the brushed metal finish that's on the back of this phone, I am just amazed by the ingenuity that's been put into making this phone look so decent while having two different screens to go with it. So I really feel like ZTE has done an amazing job here. If you notice in the lower right hand corner of the phone itself, you have the ability to switch between various different display modes. So you have a mirror display mode, your full screen display mode, a dual screen display mode, as well as a single screen display mode. So each of the modes on this phone has its pluses. If you notice right now, I'm in mirrored mode with the phone, and you can see that anything I'm doing on my YouTube channel is currently showing up on the opposite side on this other screen. So if you were sitting with a person and you wanted to check out some YouTube content, or if you wanted to show somebody a website, it would be very simple to just go ahead and set your phone down and let them check out any sort of content that you would want to show to them. In extended mode, you can see that I can take anything I'm currently looking at. If I'm in a browser, I can do this as well. If I'm on YouTube, I can do this. I can stretch it all the way across the length of both of these screens. And there's some pluses with this, but you can notice that there is the bezel that shows up here in the center. And if you're the type of person that at the end of the day, you want to lounge back, you just want to check out YouTube, or you want to browse Facebook, this could be a plus for you. Having the conveniency of not having to go and find your tablet, having this to switch almost directly into a tablet, and let's say you have a phone call, you've got your phone, you have to pull out your phone, you've got your tablet as well. This cuts out all of those things, and from that mix, you can switch it directly over to a smartphone. So there's some major pluses that can be said with this phone in that area. It really does shine. Dual screen mode allows you to switch between multiple applications. So if you notice here, I've got YouTube open over here. If I want to, I can come over to Facebook. I can launch Facebook at the same time. So I could be checking out YouTube or watching some videos while also responding to different messages on Facebook. If you come over here and you click the messenger, it pops up the messenger immediately. You can check any of your messages while still watching YouTube at the same time. Browsing content and still being able to talk to people is amazing with this phone. So lastly, we have single screen mode, and what that does is it just takes that secondary display and shuts it off entirely. And if you notice over here on the right side of the phone, we have a set of hinges, which is how this phone is able to fold out and display both of those HD displays. And one thing I really would have liked to have seen with this phone is them integrate a stylus into the hinge right here. If you could pull out a stylus, with the fact that you have so much real estate on this phone, so much screen that you can work with, having a stylus really would have helped out. But I can understand why ZTE went against doing something like that. They really did not want people to sit here and notice this this hinge set right here. I really believe that. And lastly, we can say that there is a 20 megapixel camera that's integrated into this phone, which is maybe not the best camera in the world, but overall, it's a decent camera for the type of phone that we have here, which mainly focuses on these two displays. This single camera does function as both the front-facing and the rear-facing camera. So with that being said, I feel like this is a fantastic phone. If you're going to get something at an affordable price point and you want something interesting, you want something you can lounge back with, and you want something that's going to be dependable, this would be a phone to consider checking out. Really fantastic phone overall. But I believe that's it, guys. I will see you in the next review here on eCash Society Tech Talks.